Hello Swatantra TV viewers. I am Mahima, welcoming you to our English bulletin with latest news, updates and analysis. The Congress on Friday said that it is due to its positive campaign, the guarantees and giving priority to protecting the constitution that the India bloc is going to get a clear and decisive mandate on 4th June. Addressing a media conference along with Khera and Srinath, Ramesh said the Congress campaign was positive and result of the Rahul Gandhi-led Bharat Jodo Nyaya Yatra. Ramesh also recalled that Rahul Gandhi carried the copy of the constitution to public meetings and stressed the Congress guarantee to protect social justice, get a caste census done, and remove the 50% cap on reservation. During the presser, Ramesh also said the Congress made several complaints of model code violations by the BJP, including 14 against the Prime Minister, to the Election Commission of India. The EC was sadly not impartial during the course of the campaign, he said. Jairam Ramesh also claimed that his party would have a strong performance in several states in which it had been wiped out in the 2019 polls. Asked to comment on RJD leader Tejasvi Yadav's remarks that Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar could do another volte-face, Ramesh said that he has an old habit of volte-face. He said that he did not have any information on what Nitish Kumar will do on 4th June. Asked about the reasons for the Congress confidence that it will secure people's mandate on 4th June, Ramesh said that he had said after two phases that the India is going to get a clear and decisive mandate.
Complaint against the meditation trip of Mr. Modi taking place from 30th May 2024 to July 1st, 2024 as a way of indirectly violating the silence period to continue his campaign. तो इसको लेकर हमने शिकायत की थी, पर अभी तक इस पर कोई कार्रवाई नहीं हुई है। नहीं, हमको कुछ जानकारी मिली नहीं। चुनाव आयोग ने स्वीकारा हमारी शिकायत को, पर कोई कार्रवाई नहीं। हर एक शिकायत के खिलाफ जो कार्रवाई की गई है उसकी जानकारी मैंने आपको दी है। 14 शिकायतें हैं प्रधानमंत्री। ये पहली बार, कभी नहीं हुआ ऐसे हमारे चुनाव के इतिहास में। पहली बार प्रधानमंत्री के प्रचार के खिलाफ 14 शिकायत हमने की है, पहली बार।
जयराम जी, आप सीधे तौर पे ये कह सकते हैं कि आप चुनाव आयोग पे सवाल उठा रहे हैं?
2004 में चुनाव 20 दिन के अंदर हुए। पहला सवाल तो उठता है, 42 दिन क्यों लगे? डिजिटल इंडिया बन गया, स्टैंड अप इंडिया बन गया, सब इंडिया बन गया। 2004 में 20 दिन लगे थे चुनाव खत्म करने के लिए, इस बार 42 दिन लगे हैं।
Prajwal Revanna, the suspended JDS MP facing sexual abuse allegations, was arrested on Friday upon his return from Germany, a month after he left the country in the wake of explicit videos of his alleged actions doing the rounds in Karnataka's Hassan. In a clear messaging by the SIT probing the allegations, a team of women police personnel welcomed Prajwal Revanna upon his arrival here, as they were deputed to execute a warrant and take him to the CID office for interrogation. After evading summons and staying out of the country for a little over a month, the 33-year-old grandson of JDS Supremo and former Prime Minister H.D. Deve Gowda landed here past midnight from Germany's Munich, only to be arrested by the Special Investigation Team minutes later and whisked away for questioning. The NDA Lok Sabha candidate from Hassan, facing allegations of sexually abusing several women, was arrested after completing the due process, and further legal procedures will follow, Karnataka Home Minister G. Parmeshwar said. Soon after he alighted from the plane from Munich, he was received by women in khaki, sources in the SIT said. The MP was later taken for medical examination under tight security. Escorted by female police officials, he was taken to Boring and Lady Curzon Hospital here. The SIT is also contemplating a potency test on Prajwal. A potency test is done to ascertain if a rape accused is capable of committing sexual assault on victims. JDS has suspended Prajwal Revanna from the party following the allegations. The Congress controlled the narrative during the Lok Sabha polls and placed a new vision for the country before the people, former party chief Rahul Gandhi said on Thursday, exuding confidence that the India bloc will form the next government. In his message to the people and Congress workers at the end of the campaign for the Lok Sabha polls, Gandhi said that India bloc was successful in fighting the elections on real issues related to the people, and despite the repeated attempts of the Prime Minister to mislead, the India bloc leaders raised the voice of farmers, workers, youth, women and the deprived. He thanked all the leaders and workers of the opposition alliance who stood without bowing down to save the constitution and institutions of the country. He appealed to the Congress workers to keep an eye on the polling booths and strong rooms till the last moment.
नमस्कार। कैंपेन ख़त्म हुआ। मैं देश की जनता को और कांग्रेस के सारे कार्यकर्ताओं को, इंडिया गठबंधन के कार्यकर्ताओं को, कांग्रेस पार्टी के जो बब्बर शेर हैं, आप सबको दिल से धन्यवाद करना चाहता हूं। इतना समर्थन दिया आप सब ने, देश की जनता ने, और हमारे कार्यकर्ता हर इंच के लिए लड़े। इलेक्शन संविधान को बचाने का है, हिंदुस्तान के संस्थाओं को, इंस्टीट्यूशंस को बचाने का है, और हमने नैरेटिव को कंट्रोल किया और एक नया विजन हिंदुस्तान के लिए हमने सामने रखा। गरीबों के लिए, किसानों के लिए, स्मॉल मीडियम बिजनेसेस के लिए, बेरोजगार युवाओं के लिए इंडिया गठबंधन की सरकार बन रही है। इंटेलेक्चुअल्स ने, थॉट लीडर्स ने प्रधानमंत्री को कहा था कि मेरे साथ डिबेट करें, मगर वो डिबेट नहीं कर पाए, और अब तो डिबेट पॉसिबल है ही नहीं क्योंकि वो मौन व्रत पे चले गए हैं। पोलिंग डे आ रहा है और मैं इंडिया गठबंधन के सारे बब्बर शेर कार्यकर्ताओं से कहना चाहता हूं, लास्ट मिनट तक आप पोलिंग बूथ पे रहिए। लास्ट मिनट तक आपकी आंख पोलिंग बूथ पर, ईवीएम मशीन पर होनी चाहिए। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। जय हिंद।
A court in Pune on Thursday issued an order directing Congress leader Rahul Gandhi to appear before it in a complaint filed by Vinayak Damodar Savarkar's grandnephew accusing him of defaming the Hindutva ideologue, the petitioner's lawyer claimed. While Gandhi was not represented by any lawyer during the hearing, the detailed order was yet to be made available. The order was passed by Judicial Magistrate First Class Akshi Jain. It came 2 days after Pune police stated in a report that there was prima facie truth in the complaint filed Satyaki Savarkar, who alleged that the Congress leader defamed the late freedom fighter in a speech made in London in 2023. The order stated that the next hearing would be on 19 August 2024, and the stage was appearance. Advocate Sangram Kolhatkar, lawyer of Satyaki Savarkar, claimed that the judge had asked Gandhi to appear before the court on that date. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman on Friday said the Modi government has turned around the banking sector through various reforms and improved governance, which has led to banks recovering more than 10 lakh rupees crore from bad loans between 2014 and 2023. She said the Enforcement Directorate has investigated around 1,105 bank fraud cases, which resulted in the attachment of 64,920 crore rupees worth of proceeds of crime. As of December 2023, assets amounting to 15,183 crore rupees have been restituted to the public sector banks. She said there has been no leniency in recovering bad loans, especially from large defaulters, under the Modi government, and the process is ongoing. This is in stark contrast to the situation before 2014, when India-led UPA government turned the banking sector into a cesspool of bad loans, vested interests, corruption and mismanagement. Sitharaman said the Modi government implemented a comprehensive 4 rupees strategy of recognizing NPS transparently, resolution and recovery, recapitalizing PSBs, and reforms after coming to power in 2014. The minister said the Modi government will continue to take decisive measures to strengthen and stabilize our banking system, ensuring banks support India's growth path to developed Bharat by 2047. Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal on Friday said he will be surrendering on 2nd June and asserted that he will not bow down even if he is harassed in jail. The AAP national convener was granted interim bail by the Supreme Court till 1st June for Lok Sabha election campaigning. After being released from jail, Kejriwal campaigned in Uttar Pradesh, Punjab, Delhi and Maharashtra. Doctors have advised several tests and they feel this could be a sign of some underlying medical condition, he added. The Chief Minister said he will leave his residence around 3 p.m. on Sunday to surrender at Tihar jail. He said that the government will try to harass him more but he will not bow down. He assured the people that their services won't stop. He promised to ensure that 1,000 rupees is provided to women, he said, referring to a scheme to give 1,000 rupees monthly honorarium. Kejriwal also asked people to pray for his mother who has been unwell.
माननीय सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने मुझे चुनाव प्रचार करने के लिए 21 दिन की मोहलत दी थी। कल 21 दिन पूरे हो रहे हैं। परसों मुझे सरेंडर करना है। परसों वापस मैं तिहाड़ जेल चला जाऊंगा। मुझे नहीं पता ये लोग इस बार कब तक मुझे जेल में रखेंगे, पर मेरे हौसले बुलंद हैं। देश को तानाशाही से बचाने के लिए जेल जा रहा हूं, इसका मुझे फक्र है। इन्होंने मुझे कई तरह से तोड़ने की कोशिश की, झुकाने की कोशिश की, मुझे चुप करने की कोशिश की, लेकिन ये सफल नहीं हुए। जब मुश्किल वक्त आता है तो पूरा परिवार एकजुट हो जाता है। आप सब ने मुश्किल वक्त में मेरा बहुत साथ दिया है। हम सब मिलकर तानाशाही से लड़ रहे हैं। देश को बचाने के लिए यदि मुझे कुछ हो जाए, यदि मेरे प्राण भी चले जाएं, तो गम मत करना। आपकी प्रार्थनाओं की वजह से ही आज मैं जिंदा हूं और आगे भी आपका आशीर्वाद मेरी रक्षा करेगा।
A 9-year-old Indian origin girl, yet to be formally identified but believed to be from Kerala, is in critical condition in hospital fighting for her life after suffering a gunshot wound in a drive-by shooting from a motorbike in East London. Forensic officers have been carrying out searches around the area including outside St. Mark Church. The Metropolitan Police said the girl was inside a restaurant in the Kingsland High Street area of Hackney having dinner with her family when the shooting occurred on Wednesday night. 3 as yet unnamed men, aged 26, 37 and 42, who were sitting outside the restaurant were taken to hospital for treatment for gunshot wounds and their conditions are said to be stable, but one potentially faces life-changing injuries. A 9-year-old girl, who was inside the restaurant having dinner with her family, suffered a gunshot wound and she remains in hospital in a critical condition. Met Police Detective Chief Superintendent James Conway said in a statement.
Of the crime being reported, and 2 crime scenes remain in place at Kingsland High Street and Calverston Crescent, where we recovered a motorbike that we believe was used in the shooting and which we now know to have been stolen. The investigation is being led by our specialist crime colleagues, and we're supporting them with specialist local officers as we conduct fast-time inquiries to identify and apprehend those responsible and to establish the motive behind the shooting. The investigation is at an early stage and we're keeping an open mind as to that motive. We're keen to identify other witnesses who are in the area around the scene at the time of the shooting. Similarly, if you're in Kingsland High Street at the time of the shooting and have information or footage from a phone or another device, please share that with us. This is a fast-moving, complex investigation and we'll be working closely with our specialist crime colleagues, our partners in the council and other partners to establish the facts over the coming days.
BJP held a dharna in Hyderabad on Friday demanding that the Congress government in Telangana hand over the probe into the alleged phone tapping during the previous BRS regime to the CBI. Addressing the protest, BJP Rajya Sabha member K. Lakshman said the confessional statements by police officers in the phone tapping issue have taken the whole country by surprise. The Telangana Society is seeking an answer from Chief Minister A. Revant Reddy on why he has adopted an inactive stance though the police officers have made everything clear in their confession statements, he claimed. The intelligence wing is supposed to help in maintaining law and order and for national security. The confessional statements of officers show how intelligence was used against opposition leaders or for selfish politics. It also shows how 50 officers across the state were used, how it was against Telegraph Act and without the permissions of Union Home Ministry. It also shows how equipment was brought from foreign countries, he said. BJP had earlier petitioned Telangana Governor C.P. Radhakrishnan seeking a CBI investigation into the phone tapping issue. BRS had denied all the allegations made in the confessional statement, according to senior BRS leader and former MP Vinod Kumar.
పోలీసు వ్యవస్థను ఆ నిఘా వ్యవస్థను ఏ రకంగా మరి ఆ రోజు మరి ఆ ఫోన్ ట్యాపింగ్ అనే ఉదంతం ఇవాళ వెలుగులోకి వస్తున్నదో నిజంగా ఆశ్చర్యం కనబడుతుంది. ఆ నాయకుల యొక్క ఫోన్లు ట్యాపింగ్ చేయడమే కాకుండా అధికారులందరినీ కూడా ప్రేరేపించి ఆ యొక్క అధికారులు ఇవాళ మొత్తం కూడా మీ భాగవతం బయట పెడుతున్నారు. ఎవరైతే ఇవాళ జైలు ఊచలు లెక్క పెడుతున్నారో విధి లేని పరిస్థితుల్లో ఆ రోజు పెద్ద ఆయన చెప్పిన విధంగానే మేము చేశామని తప్పితే ఆ ప్రభుత్వానికి అనుగుణంగానే మేము పనిచేస్తామని తప్పితే మాకంటూ వ్యక్తిగతంగా లేదని ఇవాళ వారు ఇచ్చినటువంటి ఈ కన్ఫెషన్ స్టేట్మెంట్స్ ఇవాళ చూస్తా ఉంటే మొత్తం ఈ రోజు ఇన్ని పేజీల కన్ఫెషన్ లో మొత్తం దేశమంతా కూడా ఇవాళ ఆశ్చర్యం కలిగే రీతిలో అయినా ఇవాళ ఎందుకు ఇవాళ రేవంత్ రెడ్డి గారు ఇవాళ నిమ్మకు నీరెత్తిగా వివరిస్తున్నారో తెలంగాణ సమాజం ఇవాళ నీ ద్వారా సమాధానం కోరుతా ఉన్నది. ఇవాళ కేసీఆర్ అయినా హరీష్ రావు అయినా బాహాటంగా ఆ వాంగ్మూలంలో ఆ పేర్లు కూడా ప్రస్తావించారు ఆ అధికారులు. ఎందుకు ఇవాళ నువ్వు మీనమేషాలు లెక్క పెడుతున్నావు? ఎవరి ఒత్తిడిల కోసం నువ్వు లొంగిపోతున్నావు? నీ ఢిల్లీ పెద్దల ఒత్తిడా పది ఒత్తిడా లేకపోతే మీ కాంగ్రెస్ అధిష్టానము లోపాయికారిగా ఈ బీఆర్ఎస్ పార్టీతోని కేసీఆర్ తోని ఏదైనా రాష్ట్ర ఒప్పందాలు చేసుకున్నదా? అనేకమైనటువంటి అనుమానాలు వ్యక్తమవుతున్నాయి.
Former President Donald Trump was found guilty of 34 felonies by the jury in his hush money trial in New York on Thursday, making him the first former president in U.S. history to be convicted of a crime. The jury, composed of 12 Manhattan residents, found that Trump illegally falsified business records to cover up $13,000 payment to adult film star Stormy Daniels before the 2016 election. They found him guilty on all counts on their second day of deliberations. The presumptive Republican nominee for president is now also a convicted felon, a label that could reverberate across the electorate in the months between now and Election Day in November. The verdict was handed down in the same Manhattan courtroom where Trump has been on trial for the past 6 weeks. Trump stared at each juror as they confirmed their vote to convict and angrily denounced the decision in the hallway outside the courtroom, vowing to fight the conviction. Jurors sided with prosecutors who said that Trump authorized the plan to falsify checks and related records in an effort to prevent voters from learning of an alleged sexual encounter with Daniels. Justice Juan Merchan set a sentencing date of 11th July, just 4 days before the start of the Republican National Convention, where Trump will be formally nominated as the party's standard-bearer. He could face up to 4 years in prison and a $5,000 fine for each count, but Merchan has broad discretion when imposing a sentence and could limit the punishment to a fine, probation, home confinement, or other options. Five-day losing run on Friday with the benchmark BSE Sensex closing higher by 75 points on value buying in banking and oil shares after recent losses. The 30-share BSE Sensex rose by 75.71 points or 0.10% to settle at 73,961.31. During the session, it hit a high of 74,478.89 points and a low of 73,765.15 points. Halting its 5-day losing streak, the 50-share NSE Nifty rose by 42.05 or 0.19% to end at 22,530.70. Nifty and Sensex tanked more than 2% in the 5 days to Thursday amid high volatility ahead of the results of the Lok Sabha polls. The pre-election trading strategy has come to an end, and all eyes will be on the release of the exit poll for further action. Regional diversions, marginally low voter turnout, and strong resistance at current range are prompting investors to adopt a cautious stance, according to analysts. From the Sensex pack, Tata Steel, Bajaj Finance, HDFC Bank, Power Grid, IndusInd Bank, Larsen and Toubro, ICICI Bank were among the gainers. Nestle India, Tata Consultancy Services, Maruti Suzuki India, Infosys, Axis Bank, Hindustan Unilever were the laggards. Foreign institutional investors offloaded equities worth 3,050.15 crore rupees on Thursday, according to exchange data. $100 metric tons of its gold stored in the UK to domestic vaults in fiscal year 24, sources said on Friday. This is one of the biggest movements of gold undertaken by the country since 1991, when pledging a substantial part of the gold holding to tide over a foreign exchange crisis resulted in its movement out of vaults. The country's overall gold holding increased 27.46 metric tons in fiscal year 24 and it stands at 822 metric tons, as per official data. A substantial part of the precious commodity is stored abroad, the sources said, adding that India also had its holding with the Bank of England like other countries. The movement of 100 metric tons into India has taken the overall quantity stored locally to over 408 metric tons of gold, which means the local and foreign holding is now split almost evenly. As per the annual report of the Central Bank for fiscal year 24 released on Thursday, over 308 metric tons of gold is held in India as backing for notes issued, while another 100.28 tons is held locally as an asset of the banking department. Of the overall gold reserves, 413.79 metric tons are held abroad, the annual report said. Thank you for watching Swatantra TV English Bulletin. For a complete and comprehensive English news bulletin, please do watch Swatantra TV every day. This is Mahima, signing off. Keep watching Swatantra TV.